Okay, we are live. Venita, you around?
Oh, I just saw her a minute ago.
Yeah, she's there.
Um,
But it may just be the three of us, which is fine with me.
yeah. hmm
Uh,
There she goes.
oh, you see her? I don't see her.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
Venita.
April.
there she goes.
I'm doing the Betty Crocker thing.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Just give me 2 seconds. Let me get my glasses so I can see.
All right.
okay. Um, Labeeb did say he may join us, but
Okay.
he might be late. Vanita's son said he may join us, but he might be late.
Okay.
Um, I have not talked to Joel, and we know Randy's not going to be here tonight.
Yes.
So, unless there's some other new person, that tries to get. I've had people every week trying to get in that couldn't get in.
Really?
Um, hmm But I think I learned something new tonight. Um, that maybe will help in the future. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a couple of different on the bottom right of the screen when you have the broadcast screen.
hmm
It says links, and there's a link there that is supposed to be the link
Oh.
that lets people join the Hangout. But
Okay.
that's the one I was sending Venita last week, and it wasn't working. It was
Oh.
just taking her to the event page.
Yes.
hmm
But then there's another area where you can invite people at the top of the screen. And I looked at that tonight, and that has a different link in it. And that's the link she was able to get in with tonight. So, um,
Wow.
Hi, G. How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine, Vanita. How are you feeling today?
195, 50, 11 degrees. Humidity is 100%. Stroke weather.
Ooh, okay. Stay
Thank the
cool.
Lord for air conditioning.
Amen.
Yes.
yeah.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Doing fine.
So it's just us?
I think it may just be us tonight. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Yeah. Maybe Clint said he may join us later, but he's not sure what time he might get off work.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the new job and everything. So, it's just kind of crazy. But he might join us later once he gets himself situated.
but I had a lovely conversation with him this
Oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah, um, and he really wants to talk about relationship issue, male-female relationship issues, which I
Okay.
think is a wonderful topic.
I do too. Yeah.
He,
We're not live yet. We're not on air yet, right?
we are live, yes.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I saw live, but I didn't know how live. So we're very live. Okay, after all,
We
I'll
are
stop
very.
saying a couple things, but that's why I said one love cat. All right now.
Because
Okay.
I like to open it at 6:30 just in case anybody is watching on YouTube,
Hmm.
so they know we haven't disappeared. But no, I told him I think that's a great topic. He was trying to help me understand that people our age, he said his mother's age, don't we don't understand how relationships have changed, and the women today and the men today, they just don't care.
Whoa. All right.
Well,
Okay.
well, we had that conversation around here quite often about females, and
hmm
Clint has some very interesting angles on that, and I agree. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey.
And he even told me, he said, Mom, Dad lucked up. Dad lucked up.
Oh.
Because they do not make them like that anymore. You know. So
and
we have.
you lucked up
Man.
too.
Oh, I know. I lucked up, girl. He's the last of the big ones. Because really, last I checked, I remember my grandmother always saying that, you know, the only way you're going to find a man, you got to go check the cemetery, girl, because that's where all the good ones are.
Oh, no. That's so hopeful.
You know, you can see them down south. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Check the cemetery. That's where they're at. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's encouraging. I'm 16, but I ain't worried about it. I'll check Mount St. Benedict.
But no, I told him, you know, I suggested that he look for a book around that topic, and I told him I thought I knew a couple of titles, so that we can take some time next week and the following week trying to figure out what our topic will be, what our book will be for the next session, assuming you guys want to do a next session.
I think I'll do. What about you, G?
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Yeah, okay. So, you know, so anyway, he's got a different take on it, but you know, I think Randie would be so perfect for him.
I'm sure she would. That's what I said. Okay.
Okay, you talking professionally or romantically?
You be talking romance here, girl. Okay.
Okay.
You have to pick
Yeah.
your daughter-in-law yourself these days, girl. You know, I'm a desperate mother, okay? And I think Randie would be perfect.
Oh.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get them both in the same hangout at the same time.
That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? He's seen Randie, but Randie hasn't seen him. But a couple of weeks ago, he was looking over my shoulder, and he said, "Well, who's that?" And I said, "Well, that's Randie." So he's coming a little bit about her. He said she looked kind of young. I said, that's because that's the way we do it. But she just got finished college. He said, oh, all right. I was working at it.
And the matchmaking begins.
Right.
Yes. So he saw Rachel. She's very attractive a couple of weeks ago. And so, you know, I said, well, okay. That's why you have to join the book club.
There you go.
If you want to know more, this is what you have to do.
Next session is going to be hot.
That's what we need it. We need some excitement around here. Yes, we do. And where's Labeeb?
Yeah.
Where's Labeeb?
Labeeb sent me a message today saying he's not sure if he's going to join us tonight, but he may be late.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. I can. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right. So
okay, the delay is happening. And then Joel, that was with us last week, I have not heard anything from him this week. So, have you heard anything from him, Georgette?
He had some prior engagements that came up, so he might try to watch online, but he won't be able to participate this week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought we wore him out already, Michelle.
Okay, so why don't we go on and get started?
Okay.
All right.
Georgette.
Okay, well, welcome everyone to the National Black Feminist Book Group. This is session 1. We meet Tuesdays from June 3rd to July 29th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. The book we're reading is At the Dark End of the Street, Black Women, Rape, and Resistance, A New History of the Civil Rights Movement, From Rosa Parks to the Rise of Black Power by Danielle L. McGuire. Tonight's topic will be Chapter 6, A Black Woman's Body Was Never Hers Alone. So, do we want to go around and introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Venita?
Okay.
Okay, my name is Venita Goines Walker, and I've been a member of the National Black Feminist Book Group for about 4 weeks now or so. I find it very stimulating, and if you want to have stimulating conversation or some dialogue with us, feel free. We're here, and we love to have everyone join us. It's a lot of fun.
Whoa, that was a great promo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to clip that piece.
Indeed. I don't know how I can follow up with that one, Venita. My name is Georgette Moses. I'm watching from Columbia, South Carolina. And I've been a member of the group for these past 4 weeks. I've enjoyed it immensely, delving into this particular subject opened my eyes and encouraged me to do a lot more study.
All right.
And I'm Michelle Odom. I'm in New York. I'm a member of Black Women's Blueprint. And just happy to be here.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll go on to reading the key points for Chapter 6.
Okay.
And who would like to read this first section? Sexual terror was common in the South. Can I get a volunteer?
Sure.
I'll read it.
Okay.
This section is called Sexual Terror Was Common in the South. Point number 1. Fannie Lou Hamer, Mississippi Delta sharecropper and freedom fighter, shares stories from her grandmother and mother about the horrors of slavery. Hamer's grandmother was traded off between 2 white men for livestock, a little sow pig and a little heifer calf. Of the 23 children she was forced to bear, 20 were the products of rape. Hamer's mother resorted to carrying a gun to protect herself and her children in the cotton fields. Point 2. In 1961, Hamer, who only had a small fist, received a Mississippi appendectomy. This forced hysterectomy was a common procedure used on Black women given at the whim of the doctors. It underscored the painful truth that in the Mississippi Delta, if not the entire South, a Black woman's body was never hers alone. Any attempt to seek legal help would have ended in her death. Point 3. On June 9, 1963, Mrs. Hamer and a group of Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, volunteers were arrested in Winona, Mississippi for attempting to desegregate the bus terminal's lunch counter. They each received a savage and sexually abusive beating while in custody. The police forced June Johnson to strip naked after tearing off most of her clothes. They beat and kicked her until her body was bloody and her eye bulged out of its socket to teach her how to say "yes, sir" to a Mississippi white man. Annelle Ponder, a Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, coordinator, and trip organizer, was brutalized and viciously beaten with a blackjack, belt, fist, and open palm to make her say, "Yes, sir." But that was the one thing she would not say. Point 4. Fannie Lou Hamer's bold, witty speeches and inspiring leadership in defense of working people, scarred by poverty and racism, made her a constant target of intimidation, harassment, and sexualized violence. The police officers in that Winona jail inflicted all the brute physical, verbal, and sexual terror they could. They ordered 2 black inmates to beat Hamer with a long, wide blackjack, while another patrolman battered her head and other parts of her body. Her sadistic attackers displayed pleasure that was sexual in nature, pulling her dress up over her head and feeling under her clothes as they beat her. She would later tell every detail of this beating on national television at the Democratic National Convention in 1964, continuing to add her voice as a form of resistance to the sexual and racial injustice of segregation. Labeeb, I see your artwork in the background. Welcome.
Oh, hey.
Hello. How's everybody?
Hi, Labeeb. How are you?
Hello, Labeeb.
Good. Sorry I missed you guys last week, but I'm popping in now.
Well,
we missed you greatly.
Okay.
We're glad you're here now.
All righty. Thank you.
So we're just getting to the first question, which is, in what ways do the bodies of Black women and all women remain under the control of others, politically, socially, morally, legally? Well, I love that question.
That's very deep.
Back to you, Georgette.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, this was a very heavy chapter to read.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, when I read that section, I had to step away because I couldn't breathe. I absolutely stopped breathing. I know these things happen. My grandmother told me about them, but still, every time you read it or hear of it, it doesn't get any easier. I was just horrified. Mm-hmm. Michelle and I would have been dead.
Absolutely.
I know I was.
When he says, "Say yes, sir."
That's it. That's it, Michelle. You know, we would. That's why God, you know, He knew best, because we wouldn't have made it.
Not at all.
We would need Georgette to quiet us down. So we don't But me and Michelle, quiet down, bro. I'm trying to make it out here. You know?
Are you gonna answer the question?
I am. I guess I'm hot. Well, you know, in what ways do bodies of Black women and all women remain under control of others politically? We'll attack that one.
Okay.
We don't really have legal rights most of the times. I mean, we have the politicians, the Bible throwers, God bless them, trying to tell us what we should do and how we should do it, whether we need this or whether we need that, whether we need birth control or self-control or no control, you know. So, no, we don't have any control politically, you know. And what really amazes me, that it's a bunch of suits that don't bear any children, that doesn't have a female anatomy, trying to tell me what I should do. And sadly are the ones that are making or breaking the laws that should be in place for us to be able to make responsible decisions about our own bodies. So the answer to that one is no, Georgette.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would take it here if I may.
Okay.
Let's
I
go back.
agree.
Let's go back to the fact that you know, our entry into this country, like Paula Giddens' book that's entitled "Where and When I Enter." We entered this country as property.
Excuse me, Labeeb. I don't have a picture. Wait a minute.
Is it just dark or?
It's dark.
Oh, okay. The lighting here is I don't know. Let me shift a little bit. See, I'm dark skinned, but not that dark.
No.
I don't know. Well, hang on.
Okay, there you go.
A little better.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let me.
We got you.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. You know, again, firstly, to follow up on what Venita said, you know, our entry into this country was that of property. So we belonged to someone else. In particular, we belonged to the white men who purchased us. So, you know, in that dynamic was in the dynamic of slavery was formed the social system and the political system. The Constitution said that granted white males voting rights, and part of their voting rights and voting power stemmed from their ownership of you and me, 3/5 of all others. That's the one political and social sense under which, you know, we as women have come under control of someone else. When slavery was ended, and I believe it was the 13th or 14th Amendment that granted us former slaves the right to vote, black women were not included in that.
I'm okay.
Women's suffrage didn't take place, I believe, until the 1920s or thereabouts. And that was primarily to empower white women. It really wasn't until you know, we as a people began to assert ourselves politically and challenge the social and political history and standing that we began to be able to exercise our right as black males to vote, and then by default black women to be able to vote. So you know, to answer that question, as far as are black women in control of themselves politically, unto this day the answer is no. Even though there have been empowerment movements and empowering women, black women in particular, Barbara Jordan comes to my mind. We're all still without any real power to affect political change in our life here in America.
Yeah, I lost you there I lost the connection for a minute.
Okay.
But it sounded to me like you were looking at it from the political and legal angle.
Correct.
So I would just add, from a moral and social perspective, you know, morally, we have the church or religious thinking to look to, and there's still a great deal of subjugation of women going on there. You know, what's happening with the Nigerian girls right now is just it's an extreme example, but you know, there really are a lot of extreme examples around the world of how religious beliefs constrict women's women's human rights, women's freedoms, and so, you know, I would say it's actually those kinds of religious views that work their way into the body politic and, you know, find their way into decisions like we're seeing now with the Hobby Lobby situation where, you know, they won't pay for birth control for women, but they will pay for Viagra for men. Socially, you know, I mean, I think I'm probably radical, but because I don't even like language. You know how couples talk about each other in terms of ownership. You know, you my man, you my woman, you know, you my bitch. You know, kind of ownership, property language that makes me very uncomfortable. But if that is how people are generally comfortable relating to each other, then you know, I think it's where we get this idea that that women continue to be less than. You know, we've been looking at a case all day. Have you guys heard about this situation with the 16-year-old girl Jada? She was gang raped recently, and by some teenage boys, and they posted the video. First of all, they drugged her and gang raped her, and then they posted the video. The video went viral, and then Jada started getting calls from her friends saying, "Are you okay? You know, we love you." All of this kind of stuff. She doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, and that's how she learned about what had happened to her. Meanwhile, the video was out.
I think she's frozen.
Oh.
Okay, we lost her
We
a
lost
bit
her.
there. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, boy.
This is not good.
No, she's right in the middle.
Of a good story.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Michelle. You're kidding.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes,
We
Michelle.
we hear you.
We hear you. We hear you now. We lost you for a few. Okay, we lost you again.
Man, I was like in it. Okay, there was
Yes.
Let's go back to it. Oh, she is not there at all.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
man.
Yeah.
This is not good. The story was too good. Just shut down everything.
Yes.
That's it. Okay.
Michelle. I don't know if it's going to happen.
She's probably.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll be positive. She'll make it work.
Her face is back anyway. Her image. Michelle. Yeah, she's trying to get back on.
Yes.
I hadn't heard that story. I've been out of the loop, you know, Ramadan and everything. So.
It is. Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting a little message that keeps popping up that says that my network is experiencing difficulties. Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay.
We have thunderstorms in the area, so Michelle is in Brooklyn. I'm on Long Island. We're about maybe 30 to 50 miles apart, but you know, there's thunderstorms in the area. So
yeah,
we had a couple power outages here also. That's where the shoreline folks will be. Their homes will be in the Connecticut River tomorrow.
So you know, we can either, you know, I get knocked out, you guys just keep going, and I'll be back, I guess, in a minute or so.
Well, you were in the middle of a great story and a point. We got.
Okay. Okay, now we have two of you.
Yeah. Wow.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, I was saying another option is to try this tomorrow night.
Wednesday. You want to do that? I can.
Did you hear?
Okay, if you.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I think this is a really good. You know, there's a lot of stuff here.
Okay.
And I hate to miss out on the conversation. You know, I can't stand to miss out on anything.
And you were in the middle of a great story.
Is everybody available same time tomorrow evening?
Wednesday should be good.
Yeah.
Venita?
Sure, but you have to finish this story while we still see you.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to hear this.
Okay. Well, I was talking about the young woman Jada, who's there's a video that went viral of her being gang raped after she had been drugged by some teenage boys, and that's how she learned what happened to her when people started, you know, sending her texts and calling her friends, saying, you know, are you okay? We love you. We're with you. And she didn't even know what had happened to her. And so I was making the point, you know, I mean, Jada is one recent example, but, you know, there's a great deal of rape that goes on in the world and in this country. And the fact that it exists indicates that women are not truly free. You know, that in a lot of ways we are still under the control of others.
This is correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. And that point, by way of rape, is driven home quite dramatically. That women still are not in control of themselves. They still are not respected as human beings, and considered as such. So, you know, just as in the days that we had talked about in the previous discussion, where rape was used to terrorize black girls and black women and black men and black boys into submitting to the dominance of white supremacy.
Right.
Yeah. To that point, it's still being driven home today in that very same form.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just read that story as you were speaking about what happened to this young lady.
Jada.
And actually, they speak of the young man that incriminated himself by talking about. My problem with this whole situation is not only what happened is horrible, but what time are we in? Everyone is so desensitized. It's like a joke.
Yes.
This is no big deal.
Yes.
We can go around here at random. And then the sad part about it, during this conversation, he's blaming her. Well, you knew what she knew was going on. If she came over here, she's the one that went to the refrigerator and got a drink. What is that?
This was a premeditated situation. The boy set this up.
Yeah, we know he set it up. The sad part about it is they are so brazen and blatant as if they have no concept of the consequences that he's about ready to pay. I mean,
they don't. Well, as your son said to me, you know, this week, nobody cares.
I can't even imagine.
In his generation, people just don't.
Well, there is a mother that does care, and I think, first of all, I don't even know. I don't know what. Ooh, girl. You know what? I just don't even know what to say. I have raised 2 sons, and there's no way on God's earth. I think his prayer would be at that point to arrest me and keep me here till I die. I think that I would just lose my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. If it was my son, his best bet would to be arrested. You should ask them to come pick me up.
That's right.
On the street,
take it into custody.
As long as my mother is on the street, I am in danger.
But that's the problem.
As long as my father's on the street, I am in danger.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't even imagine. And it's just so matter of fact, he's smiling as if it is a joke. And I do find that when I went back to college, Michelle, of course, knows about that. Everyone's desensitized, and nothing means nothing. I mean, some of the things the young ladies would say to me was just went beyond my thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's just, really. And, well, you have to also realize that the college student may be 20 and her mother's 32.
Okay, good
point. But that's the problem. We've got a couple,
not a lot of experience.
2 or 3 generations of very young people trying to raise babies by themselves, and they can't do it.
Nope. Can't happen.
Can't happen.
Can't. And and even the way the young ladies would talk to me about themselves and their self-esteem. Now, when Michelle and I have been friends since we were 12 years old, and we love ourselves very much, Labeeb, if you haven't noticed.
that passed me by.
You know what I'm saying? We just feel good all over. And I couldn't even imagine that we had self-pride. We felt good about, I couldn't imagine things that these young ladies are saying to me. Michelle and I would have never thought it. As a matter of fact, the guys used to call me Miss 500. That's how crazy it was.
Yes, they did.
Okay. They knew
both
better.
of them.
Wouldn't they, Michelle? Miss 500. They knew better. You don't even want to go up on Venita. Don't even bother, because it's not going to happen like that. It's just very sad. It's just so sad. But it happens every day. This is not the first time. This happened to another young lady, must have been about a year ago. The same thing I read. You know, they actually showed videos on YouTube, posting of them dragging her, and I mean, it was just horrible. It was just horrible. We had a case like that in Connecticut, and I was astounded when the mother, this is a pretty well-off family, mind you, and the mother was actually defending her son.
What?
Yes. He was defending her, said she would do everything in her power. Money was not an issue. To make sure, could you imagine?
Where's the belt?
Well, you know, that's another problem, Labeeb, is that, you know, now we have a thing called DCF, I think it is. I don't even know the name, because I always told my sons, and I didn't have to spank them, because that's not how we do it. However, I did tell them, the day that you call anyone on me, you might as well simultaneously call Cromwell Funeral Home, because I guarantee you that you're going to need a hearse. If I'm going to go to this place and serve 30 years, I'm going down. Especially the parents. I know I am. So dial 911 and call Cromwell Funeral Home and see if our finalists get here first. Who's going to get here first? Or two? And I don't mind doing time. I'll join Oprah's book club and I'll read for 30 years.
Georgette, do you want to weigh in on this question? And then I think cut it off and come back together tomorrow and pick up from there.
Okay. Well, the only thing I wanted to add was that politically, socially, morally, and legally, all of these arenas are areas where whenever women singularly or collectively make some headway, they will knock you back down with it. In the example you gave with the Hobby Lobby. So here we have a company that's really capitalistic, no matter how they try to hide behind their personal religious beliefs. And they've gone crying, you know, to the legal system because they feel some kind of way about the healthcare system that's taking money out of their pockets, which are ample pockets, and they should be wanting to take care of their employees. And so now you have the legal system working hand in hand, you know, with them to still take away the rights of the women over their own bodies. And here, which is so crazy, you want to prevent me from using birth control, but then you'll complain if I'm on welfare, you know, because now I have children and I can't afford a babysitter or daycare to come to work for the small amount of money that you're paying me an hour. Now I'm a problem. I'm a weight on society. Why don't you help me lift myself up? So I'm seeing, you know, all these things working together.
And, you know, and I mean, since you say that, you know, abortion is the other piece of it. You know, whatever anybody thinks about abortion personally, how is it anybody else's right to tell an individual woman what she can do with her body? Exactly. You know, but that's just another piece of the, you know, as Labeeb pointed out in the beginning of, you must really think I'm your property, for real, you know.
Yes.
Well, apparently in certain religions, they do believe that everyone's their property. You know, there's certain religions, and I won't call any out, that don't believe in birth control. However, I don't see them opening up those big gold doors and taking all these children in. However, it's okay, though, to be a little freak. You understand what I'm saying? So I have a whole problem with that whole thing. Religion, a lot of religious affiliations are businesses. And of course, we know one of the biggest businesses there is that one that I just spoke of that doesn't even believe in birth control. However,
the Catholic Church.
What? I wasn't trying to go up in there. I was just trying to be cool. I don't want to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know. But that's the kind. It's a business. It's a big, huge business. You know, that's all it is. I mean, it has nothing to do with, from what I see, with the Lord or anything else. You know, but once again,
let's get Labeeb's perspective, because Venita said she was so glad that you were in the group because we could use a male perspective.
Yes.
I'm smart enough to know to stay out of certain things, and no amount of sweet talk gonna get me to that one.
Yeah, we're in some hot water here.
That's right. But you know, you all are right on point. You know, no, I see. I don't want to stir that pot because it is a deeply personal thing that each one of you are contributing to this topic here, and you know, I could, but we're gonna cut this short. So I don't even want to do that. I just want to say that, you know, I'm 100% behind, you know, what you all are saying. Because it's coming from the heart. In some instances, it's coming from personal experiences as well. But you know, as adults, as black men and women, you know, we understand. You know, the four of us here, we understand. You know, what our experiences have been in this country at the hands of, you know, oppressors. You know, the very word oppression means the abuse of power is what oppression means. It means the crushing and burdening of a thing by the abuse of power. And from the very time that we were kidnapped from our motherland, men, women, and children, and we endured the Middle Passage, some of us, and we made it over here to these shores, only to be further traumatized, and through a process, a very brutal, savage process, we had been dehumanized, and then that dehumanization was legalized by the first and chief document that the founding fathers, white men, had put together as a blueprint by which they would govern themselves and govern, you know, what they perceived to be their property. That's you and I. That document exists till this day. It's in full force to this day. So that means that our subjugation is in full force today. And so any events that we see take place, that, you know, Michelle, you had mentioned about the young woman, the girl, the raping of that girl, that's just the enforcement of what has been legalized in this country. Okay, and you see the same thing internationally taking place over there in Palestine. You see the same thing taking place over there in Nigeria. You can name a number of places. You know, it could be South Carolina, it could be Florida, it could be Connecticut, New York, California, whatnot, what have you. You're seeing the enforcement of legalized animalization of human beings. So as long as that is in effect, we're going to have these kinds of experiences, and we ought not delude ourselves into thinking that it's anything other than that we are free, and when in fact we are not free in the least bit, and that we are still vulnerable to these kinds of attacks of terrorism and brutalization and animalization of our persons, and the woman, and the black woman in particular, is the most vulnerable, for she is the most disrespected, the most dehumanized of us all, and she is under relentless attack. Relentless, be it subtle and sly, or be it, you know, blatant and brutal. And so again, what we have to do as black people in general, and black men in particular, not to be chauvinistic or anything like that, but to exert our strength and our power to beat back, this relentless attack on our women. Because when our women are attacked and rendered defenseless, that's an attack on all of us, because it is through women that we get the next generation. And this is why the African says that you educate a woman, you educate a nation. You educate a man, you educate one person. So when she's under attack, we're all under attack. When she's not safe, we're all not safe, and we ought not to delude ourselves about that. So we have to form a united front to do something about this thing here. That's it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because I'm hot over here, and I
agree. I came out this morning on Essence. They had an interview with her, and toward the end, and she was there with a friend, family friend, and he was saying that now some rapper has come out with a song ridiculing Jada. So not all black men are on your page, Labeeb. Not at all. I just took a quick look at the weather forecast for tomorrow.
Thunderstorms, yeah. Uh-oh, did we lose you again?
Yeah, you know what? I just took a look at the. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you now, yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. I just looked at the weather forecast for tomorrow, and there is a 100% chance of rain and lightning.
Oh no. Well.
Yeah, and it looks like the only clear day I'm going to have is Thursday. So I don't know. Maybe we should try to go on tonight.
Well, this is a very interesting chapter. Okay, and Labeeb is here, and we've been waiting for him.
I appreciate that, Venita. You're going to lose me in a few minutes anyway.
Okay, so we're going to do this another time, I presume, Labeeb.
I think
we are?
best because like I said, I'm hot on this thing right here, and maybe I need to cool down a little bit.
All right.
How do you guys feel about how's Thursday?
Well, Thursday I have a HOA meeting, so I can't come. I can't do Thursday.
You can't do Thursday, okay?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any other suggestions?
Well, unless you want to extend it the week out until move this Tuesday to next Tuesday, and then just have the session go a week longer. Is that feasible for you?
That's feasible. Would y'all rather do that?
I think that
Venita, can you hear us?
Yes, that's fine with me. Perfect.
Okay.
That will also allow me to squeeze in a little bit of study on what you all have brought to the table today.
Okay.
Yeah, because it seems very the further we're going into the book, the deeper and the hotter this situation is becoming.
I agree.
I want to be a little bit more prepared to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then we'll pick this up July 22nd.
Okay.
And with Georgette
Okay.
facilitating. And you know, that's fine, because even though I haven't been disconnected in a while, there's still like a delay going on when you all speak. You know.
Okay.
So.
Perfect.
All right. So let's and now also that'll give me time to do some advertising, because I didn't really, advertise this week. Okay. So I'll see you guys in a week.
Hang on, Michelle. I know you sent me some of your notes, right? You sent me some of your notes today, Michelle.
Loser.
Okay. I think so. Goodness. Alrighty. All right. What I'll do is I'll inbox her, and I want to get a little bit more information from her about the book and stuff.
Okay.
All right.
All right, perfect. Have a good night, Labeeb. Have a good night, Georgette.
You too, Venita. You too, Labeeb.
Okay. Thank you.
Good night.
All right.